A gang of teenagers known as the Gilbert Goons, allegedly tied to a murder and other crimes in the Southeast Valley. The crimes led to community outrage over the lack of arrests by law enforcement, all of which led to an investigation by the Arizona Republic. And we're joined now by Republic investigative reporter Robert Englund and criminal justice reporter Elena Santa Cruz. Good to have you both here. Thank you so much for joining. Robert, we'll start with you. What got you started in all this? Was it just the public outcry and trying to find out what the heck's going on?
Exactly what it was. There was a lot of misinformation, a lot of social media clamor and wild allegations about this group of teens. And so what I think we did more than anything was frame what the issue was. And quite quickly, we were able to determine that not only were these attacks going on where teenagers were attacking people randomly at malls, parks, fast food restaurants, but they were also possibly involved in the murder of Preston Lord, 16-year-old who was beaten at a Halloween party on October 28th and died 2 days later.
Yeah, Elena, the murder of Preston, that pretty much was the catalyst for all the outrage, I mean, that pretty much was a spark, was it not?
Absolutely. That's basically how we got into all of it, us looking into, we started out with looking into Preston's murder, and then it kind of hit pause for a couple weeks, and then Robert and I looked into these allegations online, and that's where we stumbled upon these Gilbert Goons, and then everything exploded from there.
Well, and I was sticking with you. Is this what they call them? Do they call themselves the Gilbert Goons?
We've heard from community members that that is what they call them, and we've seen, I believe we've seen some social media posts of theirs where they've tagged with the hashtag Gilbert Goons or Gilbert Goonies, Gilbert G's. We've heard these various forms of these names, so that's certainly what the community is calling them, and that police have labeled them for now.
And Robert, again, these are mostly white, mostly upper middle class kids there in the Southeast Valley?
That's the group. They're loosely affiliated, different high schools, different communities. So you have to separate the Preston Lord attack and beating from the other attacks that we've uncovered. And then we went back and linked them. And in fact, one of the most chilling things that we discovered was just days after Preston Lord was murdered, one of the people we've identified in attack videos posted something on social media that was akin to a confession.
Yeah.
I hit a kid, he fell down, other people stomped him. I heard later he died IDK, which is tech speak for I don't know,
yeah,
which is just an amazing thing to put on social media. But this is a group of kids who are filming themselves beating other kids and posting it.
And Elena, why are they doing this? I mean, is it an initiation rite? Is it just to go out there and beat people up for the heck of it? What is going on here?
We've heard it's the latter. We had a police report that we went through, and one kid just said that he did it for fun. So most of the attacks are unprompted. There's been we had one case where there was some bullying that went on, and some goons went to the house of one victim, and then an attack happened, but it's mostly unprompted.
Where's law enforcement been with all this?
Law enforcement has said that they did see an increase of attacks, at least at this Gilbert In-N-Out, and that they increased patrols, but they said there were never case reports or reports filed with the name Gilbert Goons or anyone pointing a finger to that name since our investigation, and since they've been looking into this more deeply. The police have said that victims have since said that it was the Gilbert Goons, but we don't know. All we know is that now they're investigating cases at least back 2 years.
Yeah, and Robert, that from a distance, this is what seems so frustrating and confusing, frankly, about this. It sounds like lots of people out there know exactly who's involved with this. They know names, they know who these people are, they know the families. And from a distance, again, it sounds like some sort of cover-up is going on. Is that what you're finding?
Well, you don't have to be Lex Luthor to connect videos in people's faces and look at patterns that emerge at places where they attack, which were similar, the people involved, which are similar, and then say, well, why weren't these connected? You asked about the police. They appear to have been an absentee landlord in this situation, in that they had cases, people were reporting being beaten, And they would look into them, and in one case, they charged the same individual in 2 attacks that were part of a group, both of them were part of group attacks. And they did nothing with other cases, shelved them, labeled them as inactive, and the attacks went on. It's worse than that, though, because in the aftermath of some of the people who've been involved in these Gilbert goons, members who have fallen out with them, girlfriends who've been part of the group, when those parents came forward and started talking about it, the goons retaliated. There was a campaign of harassment against individual members that again went back more than a year, and they reported it. Nothing happened.
Nothing. So where are I asked where law enforcement, where are the community leaders out there? Where are the mayors? Where are the representatives? Where is everybody? This makes no sense. Again, from a distance, this makes no sense.
Well, the police chief won't talk about it, and Elena called the mayor, and the mayor got mad that we called her on her cell phone.
Is that, you called, she offered nothing more than quit bothering me?
Well, she said she wondered why I was calling her. She questioned why I was calling her on her cell phone and pointed me to her office to receive a statement when I inquired about this. But 2 other members from the town council spoke with me on the record, of which I got their opinions. So not sure where we go from there.
Are these attacks still happening out there? Do we know?
We know of at least 1 attack that happened after Preston Lord's death.
From your investigation, from what you found, what you've seen, heard, and read, is a cover-up going on here?
It's certainly speculated, but we're just not there yet in terms of knowing all those specific details. It's certainly something we're looking into.
And Robert, you know full well what's being rumored out there, that prominent families are involved, and that's why we're not hearing names, and that's why we're not finding out more about a situation that has a bunch of folks out there terrified.
And they are, and it's real. And these kids are affluent. How much influence is being brought to bear, I can't tell you at this time, but we are continuing to look into it, no question.
Well, great job looking into it. Great reporting by both of you. It's as I said, it's frustrating to read because it just seems so wrong. But it sounds like your investigation has put a little bit of heat under law enforcement. We appreciate that. Good to have you both here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.